Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to a very serious announcement from Team Trekyards. As always, I am Captain Foley.
I am also Commander Collins.
And this is
the Trekyards Q&A on Trekyards,
where we take questions and serious things from you guys.
The audience of Trekyards.
And try to answer them in the most serious way possible.
There are no jokes.
Without cracking a smile.
There are no laughs.
Because there is no
fun,
joking and frivolity here on Trekyards.
You know us. We are stone-faced. We are serious to the job.
Yes.
Yes.
So today's question
comes
from a very serious Trekyards member. Jeff Sichta.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Can we have more ship specifications in the and technical aspects in the mission briefings? I'm a specs and numbers guy, and I'd love if you'd... Sorry, we can't do it. We have to laugh. And we'd love if you'd sit down before the mission briefing and plot out the ship length, width, and height. Tonnage and crew would be a plus, but at least the ship's dimensions. In cases where the figures have at your mileage may vary situation, Defiant, Nova, Oberth, and Nebula, bring up that aspect and discuss it. I do appreciate that you seem to be incorporating the ship's length in the first few minutes of the mission briefings, but if you could sit down and figure out the rest of the dimensions, that would be super.
Okay, our gut reaction in 3, 2, 1. No. Okay,
it's too much work.
Well, no, it's not just that. They're different shows. Mission Briefing was an idea I had once. We filmed it like literally that day, and it worked really well. What is the premise of Mission Briefing?
As you guys know, I like to compare it to in-universe. The commander and myself, we are on the bridge. We get a sensor reading at the very far reaches of our sensor system, maybe in a nebula, maybe by a planet, and we're like, take some sensor data. Commander, we need to go talk. So we go down to the briefing room, the conference room, sit down, pull up the sensor information, kind of get a silhouette of the ship, maybe 1 or 2 readings on dimensions, perhaps, you know, and we basically work out, is this ship a threat? What kind of systems does it have? What kind of speed do you think it can do? What are each, so we have a command team kind of talk about what this ship is capable of based on our technical knowledge that we actually have.
The purpose of a briefing, gentlemen, is to get me answers based on your abilities and experience. In a critical orbit, there's no time for surprise.
That's why it's a mission briefing.
Yeah, that's actually a really great summation.
Yeah.
Every episode I have the same exact spiel that I've basically off by heart now. It's to theorize, to look at, to dissect, and to have your guys' feedback. The point of Mission Briefing is, especially now with real 3D models for the most part, we look at the real assets, like a documentary. Like Stuart said, we analyze it as if we were in universe. We have so much knowledge and so much gut reaction, especially since we've honed our senses into this universe and into how starships work, how they don't work, and how pieces, especially when you have like a Rick or a John, they have certain visual language cues you can sort of pick up on a little bit. And we theorize. Now, what's good is that sort of, if we walked in knowing 10 phaser tubes, 10 phaser ball turrets, warp 7.6, then we would say 10 phaser tubes, warp 615, and then that'd be the end of the discussion. Whereas we say, well, this warp field, the warp nacelles look like they could generate a high warp field, and the space, how it's formed, how sleek it is, just like the Prometheus and Voyager, looks like it could achieve a high warp velocity. High Bassards mean long journeys. There's all these things you can extrapolate. If we knew it, there'd be no discussion, and there'd be no back and forth on. Oh, like you just, one great example is you saw on the Discovery model that blue grill on the side of the nacelles. I hadn't seen that, and suddenly, boom, a whole new thing had opened up, and that was amazing. And
we surprise ourselves many times during mission briefings
really
on the things that we notice, even on ships we've looked at for years.
Because we never looked at them like this. Exactly. It's a real dissection. Exactly. It's like saying this 25 minutes is just about the outside of this ship. Who does that?
And not exact dimensions unless there's a specific picture that might have a size chart. Or even then, we don't have the numbers in front of us. We just have a rough look at how big it is.
We've covered most of the famous ones at this point. We're doing a lot of the one-offs now. And again, you guys are so lucky with the original 3D assets from the shows for the most part. So we can bring in scale charts. So we tend to do a scale chart showing you in comparison. So while it won't be the 645, for most people saying that, they don't know how big the Connie is. I mean, in the old days, you used to compare it to a few ships, but seeing it is better. Especially since a lot of you guys will already learn the Connie is this size, the Generic is this size. You sort of get a context based on what we already know.
And we appreciate that you're a specs guy, because we definitely are too. That's why Trekyards is a thing.
That's what we started with.
But every Saturday release, if you'll notice, within the first
3 minutes
paragraph or so
first
of our
minute
discussion
paragraph
is the length, the height, the width, occasionally the mass, the gross tonnage, things like that. We try to get that stuff out of the way right away, so that it will be available for each ship eventually. And one of the great things about Mission Briefings too is it's not just the commander and myself. All of your comments and things that you guys know about the ships, we encourage you guys to put in the comments, because when we do the full episode on that ship, we go through the comments, and if there's things that I can't find in my research, you guys have known or whatever over the years, I use that. And so you guys are contributing towards the full episode eventually anyway. So it is like the captain and commander calling in their specialist in, their chief engineer and saying, hey, what do you know about this ship? Giving a little feedback, and then calling in somebody else, so that we go into the situation, as it were, in the universe, or the full episode in real life, with all the knowledge that we have at our disposal.
Well, a great example of that is we did an episode on the Fan Excalibur class. Mm-hmm. The designer himself was inundated with messages based on our episode, so he indeed commented and answered all of our questions. So now we'll be in contact with him and include him in the episode. And because of our initial formatted show that had people like us dissecting ships, they like us thinking and theorizing, saying stuff you guys hadn't thought of. Mm-hmm. It brings in new people, and multiple times where designers or people who worked on the show say, well, you know what, I can answer that. And then we say, great, join us on the show then.
Yeah. So all the mission briefings do is bring you the ships you want to see sooner, faster, and
new renders,
and contribute to the overall finished, polished project that is the final Trekyards episode on that ship, which is all the facts that we can find and present to you guys. So really, the mission briefings are they're like an hors d'oeuvre. They kind of get you ready for the main course. Yeah. And like I said, for you guys to contribute to the show, that's the best way for us to do it. And you guys say great stuff about the ships that we haven't heard before, or that I can't find the research material for. So all that'll get worked in.
One thing that's also worth mentioning is that we used to say what we like and dislike about the ship at the end, but now our episodes are so full of information that is now based in the mission briefings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because some people didn't like the informal stuff at the end of an episode. So we have both. Because we do really pile in the designers and the facts and the models. The Saturdays are so full of good stuff, and that's, like I say, it's an hors d'oeuvre. The Saturdays are really worth something. Those are really high-end productions. The mission briefings are the other side of that coin, and then they are important. Yeah. So we do give some scale in renders. We do try and talk about stuff, but it is meant to be a discussion.
A first look at the ship.
And some people call it a review. It is partially, but a real dissection of a review.
And one of my biggest pet peeves is even with your spiel at the beginning, people are like, well, you obviously didn't research this ship. This is a fact. This is a fact on it. Well, that's no kidding. Point. This is not a full episode of the show.
Yes. We want to go in as much as we can not knowing anything, because then our thoughts are genuinely fresh. We have a unique perspective, and we actually approach it with a unique perspective. I love some of the stuff we've come up with. Mm-hmm. Really, really fascinating stuff, and that goes into other episodes. And we wouldn't do it if we just look at the facts. It wouldn't be the same sort of discussion. So I really enjoy mission briefings. I know you guys do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I do too.
You didn't ask my opinion. But
well, I assume you did. You're the captain. You like everything we do because you're the captain.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So the short answer is no.
Yes, which was the first answer we gave.
If we know them off the top of our head, which we do occasionally, we will say it. Because it is us going in with knowledge that we already have pre-downloaded, as it were.
I mean, like the Typhon class, I specifically worked out the scale.
Yeah.
Because it was an important part of the episode. So it's a variety of things, guys. There really is. So, yeah.
But anyway, thank you very much, Jeff, for the question. That was an awesome question. And
I hope this makes sense, guys. I mean, hope you don't think we're chickening out, but I hope you're not doing something half-assed. It's all different. I mean, I make renders for that, specifically for that. I don't often use them for the main episode because they're not necessarily the right proportions, blah, 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 blah. So, hopefully it makes sense, guys. Yeah.
So anyway, if you want to help us make mission briefings and full episodes, please visit Trekyards.com. Click the donate button. Donate what you can, if you can. Yes. And also there's our Patreon link, which is in every description. Check it out. You can help us on a monthly basis.
And obviously, click that like button on YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe to the channel so you get all the news and updates. and share our videos wherever you think Trek fans would enjoy them. Because, come on, we do a lot of great stuff. A lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, bad stuff.
And not everybody knows about us.
Which
and
is weird.
People that are even on our Facebook page don't even know we have a web series half the time. So,
and the thousands of you that watch this, I'm sure, are very surprised right now. You should be, because it surprised us.
I was surprised. But anyway, guys, that's it for this week. Tune in again next week for more with the Commander and myself answering your questions and addressing your comments.
Until next time, I'm Colonel Cockles.
And I'm Captain Foley.
See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.